Kezia,
Yeah.
you successfully identify the box.
Yeah.
You immediately understand it, and just the psionics and the elephant part is just you having recognized this. And again, yeah, now having activated it without or understood it without having activated it, there's clearly a second component to it that shields the wearer so that they don't just mind fuck themselves.
This isn't a good thing. It should be destroyed.
Any ideas how?
Also, can you elaborate on this isn't a good thing?
Yeah. What does it do specifically? If you could give me it in 3 sentences.
You know how Sunny, when he was in Robomo,
It's not
where he could accept any and all commands given to him by a certain person, and he will do them. This does this to everyone. It completely removes free will.
Why don't you lead with that last sentence?
Wait, from like everyone in the world?
Yeah.
No, I don't know what the radius is because it's not marked down in the identify spell.
Like including the
One.
It does include the user. There's something that's missing in there, which would allow the user to completely negate it. So if I were anyone,
No.
if I were
Wait, if it
the
removes
guard,
See?
if it removes free will, sorry, that just means that someone would have to be telling you what to do. So
yeah,
who would be the like instruction giver in that
I'm
case?
guessing the person holding the box is the box work.
But then if the person's holding the box and it's missing the component for the person to not lose their free will, would everyone just become zombies that stand there and die of starvation?
I think they would become slaves.
I
Wait,
guess.
to
But slaves,
themselves?
but slaves to what? Like who would be giving the command?
And how would no one
Yeah,
would
was
be
it?
giving the command?
So Sunny was created using this illithid type psionic magic.
Yeah.
And we know that the computers were able to control him. I don't know if maybe those computers had more of a sinister origin of maybe they used this device to control people instead of robots as the Empire eventually did.
Or this is the next step.
I mean, would anybody, do you think the Weave Squad would create this? I don't know how they would control it unless they have the computer.
No.
Which
Well,
is
I think
actually-
they hate magic.
Yeah, I feel like they want to destroy this because it's innately magical itself.
But they didn't.
Well, they might not know how to, outside of using
Yeah.
magic.
Or they might just be okay with utilizing a small this magic item in order to further their goals of spreading the word and keeping all magic to a minimum. Because what will be better? A
Well, I guess-
slight deviation from one's own code to further a primary objective,
I suppose
or
if someone used this, would they just be able to like look at a mage, activate it, and say, "Hey, off yourself"?
I think that would work.
Hmm.
Or by turning it on and telling every single person around them to, hey, off this mage.
Well, why even do that if you can just have the mage to off themselves? It's a lot easier to do that.
The thing is,
I don't.
so the little experience I do have with suggestion spells, I don't know if this is close to that or not. Is that there is a limitation to the things you can tell someone to do, and
Yeah.
usually one of the limitations is you can't tell them to bring harm to themselves. So maybe
I doubt that if we commanded Sunny to do that, or a Warforged, as you know, like Cinna probably would if Didactic Refrain told him to. I don't know. We have no idea what this is, and I think we're just making a lot of assumptions. We know it's bad, and it can possibly control minds, and I think for me, that's enough to just put it in this box and not touch it.
I agree.
Ooh, do we have any of that anti-magic metal?
What?
Do we have any of that anti-magic metal on us, by chance?
I do.
What's anti-magic metal?
I have an arrow
You
with
mean
it.
Malika or Xanthonite? I forget which one I made up.
You made both up.
I
No,
don't know.
I just forget which one is which.
Malekith is
Malekith.
suppression. Xanthonite
Wait, no, this
is.
is a computer. I can't look at my own Word documents.
I have a Malekith arrow. So.
Would that be enough?
I have no idea.
Well,
I mean, if we're trying to get rid of it, I can dispel it right now.
Do you
on,
think
on
you're
the
magically
topic
powerful
of
enough to do that?
destroying it, it definitely seems dangerous, but actually part of my job with the Cerulean Eye is to kind of find information and potentially, actually, specifically even artifacts and bring it back to them. And so if it's something we want to keep, as long as we know none of us will use it and won't let it fall into the wrong hands, I could bring it back to the Cerulean Eye and kind of help meet my artifact quota. And they might know like what to do with it.
I mean, you could always just, bring them back well, not a broken, but a deactivated, essentially, giant weapon. I'd rather bring back a deactivated weapon than a fully active one. To put it into terms that I feel like I've read in a book somewhere, it's better to have a deactivated nuke than a primed and armed one.
What's a nuke?
I don't know, actually. I skipped over that word in the book. There was a glossary in the back, but that was too boring.
But how do you know that they won't use it Haberheim either? I mean,
Oh.
Acheron might want this thing, and if
I
this
mean-
is what he wants, I did that for him for years.
If we feel confident in not letting it get out of our hands, I trust the Cerulean Eye to. It's their whole job to know what to do with artifacts.
Yeah, it's been Temple and Cathartus have been. They've been extremely neutral to every conflict, no matter how much we've asked them for centuries on it.
I still think it was
That's still a risk. If anything happened to the Cerulean Eye, someone would be able to get that, and then we have a primed and armed weapon rife for destroying the world as we know it.
Well, I'm not saying the Cerulean Eye would leave it in its weapon form, but
Well, then why don't we take it out of its weapon form?
Are we better
Preemptively.
suited for it?
I don't know.
that's certainly an option. I'm just saying we don't know anything about it besides
Yeah,
what Kezia just did, but it could be that it has important history. We've never seen anything like it before.
Yeah, I'm not saying blow it up, but
If we want to remove the magic from it, I can attempt to remove the magic. I don't know if I will be successful, but that is something I am capable of.
I would not do that if I were. We don't know anything about this. We don't know if dispelling it would backfire in any way.
I agree. I feel like we should look at it closer.
I feel like if you put it in the. We have some of the Malekith. I don't know if we could put it in the lead crate that we had and with the arrow next to it, and maybe it'll suck up some of that.
Sort itself out. Just leave it locked up in there, see what happens.
At the very least,
baking soda in a smelling fridge.
at the very least, the town is on high alert right now, and they're probably looking for magical stuff. So we should put it in the box right now.
We should probably put all of our magical stuff in the box.
In fact, let's do that.